The 400,000 Chinese Americans of New York City depend on their own supermarkets for authentic ingredients. And if you ask the shop manager where they got their products from, they say
some products from China, some products from Japan, and some products from here.
the Chinese export business was hit hard last year, with major recalls in species of farmed fish, pet food, toothpaste, and toys. For instance, over 70% of farmed fish is imported from China, an alarming number according to experts.
The use of antibiotics and having that larger residual amount indicates larger problems in the way that these animals are being farmed, which is, antithetical to the regulations here in the US.
And precautionary measures for Chinese products are necessary, as China had virtually no food regulatory system until last year.
Corruption is endemic. As China industrializes, the provinces are vying for more of the economic pie, trying to attract industries, trying to build larger industries.
Every possible way in which you can cut corners and produce food cheaply is being done. And what the Chinese said about the pet food recall, for example, was nobody told us what we were supposed to do. All they did was tell us that they wanted it cheaply. So we made it cheaply.
But here in New York City, different opinions are voiced. Huango Yang is a Chinese food importer, and his company suffers from the ineffective food regulatory system of the FDA and USDA. He says that the USDA unnecessarily detains his products and stores it in their own warehouses, charging him a daily terminal fee of $200. They take the whole container, so the shipping company charges also for the not returned container.
Significantly affect the business. Sometimes, they put the container in the port, in the terminal. They check for 3-4 months. There's a lot of expenses.
China realizes that the food safety problem is hurting its international relations and took radical measures by executing its FDA chairman last summer. And although China is trying very hard to clean up, experts say that it's not enough.
China has had so many issues related to food, and particularly lethal food adulteration. And these are where people really did die. There has now become, not only within the United States, but globally, a cautionary tale of China needs to step up to the plate and really get a hold of its regulatory system.
But Yang says that the regulations got so tight that a minor problem here has major effects in China. For instance, dates are on the FDA's import alert list for being filthy. It requires the lab test, but because of communication problems, Yang missed the deadline. As a result, his shipment was destroyed.
They saw FDA refuse, so the Chinese government suspended the license for the import, the export, the trading company, and also the manufacturer.
But Yang thinks that in the long run, it will have beneficial effects for China.
It's good because right now, we have to work on it. In the future, I think we would have no problem with that.
As long as you want cheap food, we will get a large amount from it from China. The question remains how much and how fast China can improve its food regulatory system. In New York City, one food importer is already working very hard for a better food quality.